Hey everybody, this is Gamer Zev. Just wanted to make a video on the Hexer build that I'm using. I get a lot of questions as to what armor I'm wearing, the spells I'm using, and the stats that I'm using as well. So I also got a request for a video, so here it is. Hopefully this will answer most of the questions that I've been getting for people, if they happen to watch the video. If not, feel free to continue asking me. I don't mind. If you leave like a comment or whatnot, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So, with that out of the way, let's look at the Hexer build that I use for both PvE and PvE. They work. It works great for both of them. First off, it's not just my build. One of my friends that I talk to a lot in my stream did a lot of number crunching, and we did a lot of trial and error between, using different spells and whatnot, and this is kind of what we came up with. It's his stat build, mostly. I had a slightly different one, but he had a better one for PvP, and this is what we ended up with. So, this is what it looks like. I'm soul level 154. You want to keep it around soul level 150, I believe. At the time, that's where a lot of PvP was happening in New Game Plus. You can kind of do it in a regular game, but it was kind of slow, and I was getting frustrated. So in New Game Plus, I get a lot more action. So 150 New Game Plus. That's what you want to aim for, depending on what class you are. For stats, I have 35 Vigor. This gives you, as you can see, 18 health. It's actually like 1700. I have a ring on that also increases my health. You want it at like 35 because that will save you from getting backstabbed if you're at full HP. And the ring that I'm going to explain a little bit later consumes HP as you use hexes. So you want to have that like buffer so that you don't die after casting a few casts and you get backstabbed and whatnot. It's really nice. It gives you that chance to heal again and continue fighting. Endurance is at 20. This allows you to, stab a lot. I can do quite a bit. Just keep going. And that's really useful for a rapier because you can break people's guards continuously stabbing them. It also lets you roll a lot too and cast a lot of spells in a row. So, endurance 20, aim for it. It's really nice. Don't go below that. If you want more, you can. I don't really think it's that much more effective going over 20. You can probably get by with 15. I really like 20, so that's why I have it there. Vitality, I didn't put any points into that. You're wearing light armor. You don't really need to. And the way that the rolling works in this game, there's only two kinds of roll. There's the fat roll, and then there's the, the roll. Obviously, having lower weight, I think it makes you roll further, so it looks like you're rolling faster. But you're not. So just don't put any points in it. You have light enough gear, and the third dragon ring also helps with your weight allowance a little bit. I'm still only like 50% or 40%. Don't worry about it. Oh, looks like it's 30 actually, so it's really low regardless. And if you do need points in it, don't go over 10. Attunement is very important. I can't stress this enough. It gives you attunement slots, it gives you cast speed, and it gives you agility. Attunement slots, the more spells you have, the more, cast you can get with a certain spell. Like, Great Resonant Soul takes up 2 slots each. So, that's 4 if you want to use 2 of them. And that quickly consumes your attunement slots. So having extra ones is really great. Get 40. It's just a really nice stat. I have 217 cast speed with a rapier. I think it goes a little bit higher if I have my staff out or if I change my pants. It's the pants actually. Sorry, don't use those. I'm just using them so I don't take fall damage easily. I'll get to that later though. Strength is at 12. It's usually 11 for a cleric. I put 1 point into it so I can use a mace. You don't have to. I use the mace for backup sometimes. My dex is at 12. That's the minimum dex you need to use a rapier. The The Rapier also has a strength requirement, I believe, so you want to at least have enough strength to use that Rapier. The Rapier is really nice for PvE and PvP, and again, I'll get to that later. Adaptability. As you can see, I only have 4. You use adaptability usually to increase your... I think it increases your invincibility frames. It also lets you use items faster, like your flask. But because attunement gives me enough agility alone, I didn't put any points in adaptability. So don't put any points in adaptability. You don't need it. My flask is perfectly fine. The speed that it goes right now. It's great. Intelligence and Faith are the last 2 stats that you want to put your points into. This will be where your damage comes from, and it also has requirement, or it fulfills the requirements for certain spells in the Hex line of spells. So you want to keep them pretty even, because it will take the lower of the 2 stats for your damage with dark magic. In this case, my intelligence, which is 36. I accidentally put 2 extra points in Faith. I should have left it at 42. I'm pretty sure Profound Still only requires 42 Faith. It might require 44. I don't remember if I put spices on it or not, which would lower it. But basically, the Faith that you want is the you want enough Faith to use Profound Still. So look up what it requires, and then adjust accordingly. The rest of your points, go into the lower stat, which in my case is intelligence, and it's at 36 currently. It's enough. If I could change it, if Profound Still was 42, I would take the 2 points out of Faith and put it in intelligence, so I'd have 38 and 42. So those are my stats. Let's go look at the gear, which I also get quite a bit of questions about. As far as spellcasting goes, Dark Chime of Want is used for the majority of my spells. You want this one because it is a chime with S affinity in dark magic, which is the highest you can find in a chime, as you can see. It also has an A in the miracle portion, the lightning spells, so it's really nice. I have it +5 with a dark imbue, which raises the amount of dark damage it does even more. So you want to do that as well. As you can see, it's 287 base dark damage plus 222 from the S scaling from my intelligence. So it's 500-ish damage. Really, really, really strong. You have to do this because you want to maximize the damage of your spell casts. Same thing with Dark Sunset Staff. Some of the spells require a staff instead of a chime, like Dark Orb and Dark Hail. This particular staff also has an S scaling in dark magic, and it has an A scaling in sorceries, so another good item to use. Definitely get it. And again, it has dark imbue and it's +5. This one requires Twinkling Titanite, and I think this one requires Dragon Bones. I can't remember. I might have got them mixed up, or they might both cost Twinkling Titanite. I can't remember, so sorry about that. The Rapier is just a standard Rapier, +10 with a dark imbue. You can use that to stab people repeatedly to break their guard or to do tons of damage. It's really, really fast. So usually you can counter hit people before they get their swing off. The backstab damage is ridiculous for a one-handed weapon, so you can usually kill somebody doing that. If you can riposte, you can do that too, and that will also do a lot of damage. I haven't been able to do that successfully, so just backstab people. It's way easier. The shield, it's a magic shield. I can't pronounce that name. I'm not going to try. It's +3 because I ran out of items to increase it with. I picked the shield because it doesn't have a lot of strength or dex requirement, and it starts off with a 90 physical reduction. The reason it's below 90 on this screen right now is because I put a magic imbue on it, and the reason I did that is because losing a couple percent in physical reduction to get a huge buff to a magic reduction was completely worth it. So not only can I block people who use weapons and whatnot, but I can block sorceries and take almost no damage from it, which is really nice. And those are mostly the two things that you'll fight in PvP, is sorceries and people that use weapons. It also has good fire and lightning resist and dark resist, so it all around it's a nice shield. I just picked it because it was convenient. I didn't actually realize it was useful all around. So if you want that one, I think you get it from the Stone Soldiers in Drang Lake Castle in the basement. So check it out, or you can use the shield that you like better. It's up to you. For my helmet, I use the Black Hood, which you get from Strayed, who's in Lost Bastille. And I also use the Hexer's Hood sometime. You might have seen that in the other videos, which gives you extra spell casts. So if you need extra spell casts, use Hexer Hood. I like Strayed's Hood because it gives you +2 int, +2 faith. It also increases your casting speed, which is essential. So, you know, get that helmet. It's really nice. I would have upgraded it. Again, I ran out of items to upgrade it with, so it's currently sitting at its +0 amount, which sucks. The Lion Mage armor, which I'm not using the third piece because I was using this other one. All of these give casting speed increases, so it makes your spells quicker. Highly recommend all of them. You get it from the Shaded Forest where the Lion Warriors are. There's one that's petrified. If you use the branch on it, it will come alive. You kill it. The area it was blocking allows you to access it, or the area that was blocking, it's gone because he's dead. And you walk by, there's a chest. Open the chest. All three pieces are in there. You can upgrade it with regular Titanite, so it's really easy to upgrade. It's really nice. It doesn't look that great on some pieces, but the cast speed is totally worth it. Cast speed beats swag in my opinion. You can also use the ones that I was using before, which is the Flying Feline Boots. You can get it from the cat here in Majula. It gives you fall damage reduction, which can be useful sometimes in areas where there's a lot of places you can jump down and whatnot. So, you know, it's up to you. Situational. For rings, Southern Ritual Band is amazing. I have the +2 version. I think it dropped off of Scorpionus Najka from a bonfire aesthetic. So basically the New Game Plus version of her. +2 gives you 3 attunement slots. +1 gives you 2, and the regular one gives you 1. So aim for the +2. It's amazing. Third dragon ring is from the Dragon Shrine. Same area where you get the petrified egg to join the Dragon Covenant. It gives you more health, more stamina, and more maximum load for your equipment. All that's really useful. Highly recommend it. And unlike in the previous game where it would break permanently, this one doesn't break when you take it off, so use it. It's really good. The Ring of Soul Protection, don't use that. That's for my no bonfire run. I would use the Abyss Seal. This one's essential. It gives 20% more damage on your dark magic spells. However, it consumes your health as you cast. It's not really that much health, but it still does it, and it's noticeable after you use it for a long time. But again, it's essential. Having more damage makes you really powerful. Make sure you use the Abyss Seal. You get that from the Pilgrim of Dark, or Pilgrims of Dark Covenant. The last one is kind of optional. I use the Clear Bluestone Ring +1 for more spellcasting speed. You could use, intelligence or faith boosting ones. But if you have them really well balanced, these two won't do anything for you. In my case, intelligence is behind faith, so buffing my intelligence will increase my damage. But if you have like 40-40, it's not going to do anything for you, because there's no gap to close. But if you use both of them, it would. I won't go into that math. If you need me to explain it, just ask and I'll do it for you in a comment or something. Sometimes you can use this for more resist, but usually you kill them before they kill you, so you don't really need resist. That's really it as far as rings go. The last one, like I said, it's kind of a preference, so use what you want. As long as you use those 3 rings that are essential, The third one being the Abyss Seal. That covers all my gear. So let's go look at spells really quick here. I'm going to be doing that from like a PvP perspective. I guess I can go over a couple of PvE ones too. But the one I really want to touch base on is Great Resonant Soul. This spell is amazing. It consumes 500 souls per cast, but it hits like a truck. I have one-shot people in PvP with this spell. And if I don't one-shot them, I two-shot them. Same goes for, you know, monsters in PvE. You're going to kill it really quick. I have 2 of them attuned because that gives me 22 casts of this spell, which lets me spam it in a 1v1 duel. And you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to hit them if you time it right, so use this spell. If you don't use it, you are making things difficult for yourself. Just make sure you have the souls for it, because if you don't have souls to cast with it, it doesn't do any damage. Don't let that happen to yourself. Another essential one is Profound Still. This spell is amazing. You have to have this spell. It creates an aura around you that silences any enemy spellcaster or anyone who uses a spell. They can't cast when they're next to you. You can catch a lot of enemy players who use spells off guard. If they try to cast while it's in effect, they will just swing their weapon instead, which leaves them open for you to cast. So, use it. I cast it in every PvP situation. It's so good. Trust me. It's pretty fun trolling people with it too. Scraps of Life is my third favorite spell. It creates an AoE around you. I can actually demonstrate it here. I'll actually demonstrate all the spells, actually. Scraps of Life. It creates that circle, and then you can see these pillars that come up. Those pillars do a lot of damage. And as long as it's an effect, it will keep hitting people. It also does a knockback as well. So if people are rushing you, you can use that to get them off of you. They will think twice about doing that again. Great Resonant Soul, as you can see, it's like a bolt. It does a ton of damage. So use it. It's really nice. You can target people and then use it. Really good. Profound Still. It's really quick. And it's not really noticeable after you use it. So if you can use it where someone can't see you and they don't know you have the buff on, chances are you're going to trick them into casting a spell and you're going to kill them when they try, because they'll be completely vulnerable. The element of surprise is very important. Abuse it. Back into spells here. We have Great Heal. I was trying to decide which one would, or what heal to use when you're invading people. You can't use your flasks, so you want to have a heal spell on backup or to use. Great Heal is as fast as all the other heals. It heals the most, and it has a lot of uses. This will heal. It full heals me, basically. You have to have this. It's so good. Some people might say Warmth is better, but I found that Warmth heals too slow, and you have to be really close to it, which makes it easy for people to attack you. And I think it heals anybody. So if an enemy player gets next to it, it'll heal them too. It's more useful for PvE because it lasts forever. So don't use Warmth, use Great Heal. For weapon enchants, you can use Resonant Soul Weapon, or just Resonant Weapon. I don't know why I added Soul to it. But Resonant Weapon takes 2 slots. It does give you the biggest buff to your weapon damage, but, you know, 2 slots is a lot. So 2 slots is a Great Resonant Soul. I'd rather use that. Dark Weapon, you know, buffs your damage a lot too, and only takes 1 slot, and it doesn't require souls to use it. So I'd rather use Dark Weapon or Sunlight Blade, because they're all, you know, off of your faith and intelligence. Sunlight Blade being off of your faith, and Dark Weapon being off the lower between your faith and intelligence. I might have just lied about all of that. I think it just gives you a flat damage increase now that I think about it. So, you know, pick which one you want. It's up to you. I like Dark Weapon. It's really good. Another PvP ability is Chaos Firestorm. Where is it? There it is. Chaos Storm. This spell is godly. It's like I wish I could demonstrate it, but I can't use bonfires right now, so I can't attune it. But it's a huge AoE around you, area of effect, if you don't know what that means, and it can knock people up into the air, which is really funny, and it does a ton of damage. So use it similarly to, you know, Scraps of Life. If people are rushing you or if it's in close quarters, you're going to hit somebody most likely. So that's another really good spell. Don't use a lightning line of spells. They are really easy to dodge, and they have a really slow cast time, which makes you really vulnerable. They do have a crazy long range, but like I said, it's really easy to dodge it, so don't use it. Chameleon can be kind of useful. It's really fun to troll people with it. If they're invading you, you can use that spell and hide, and then ambush them. Again, element of surprise will always help you. Almost always. I don't use Strong Magic Shield. I don't think it's that worth it. Those are really all the spells I use. Dark Hail. If you don't want to use Great Resonant Soul, you can use Dark Hail. You have to use a staff though. It's a shotgun basically. It shoots like 9 orbs out in a kind of like a fan. However, if someone's point blank, all 9 orbs will hit them, and it will do more damage than Great Resonant Soul. So consider using that. It can be pretty useful. I've one-shot people with it. People who are rushing me down, it's highly entertaining. So give it a shot if you want. Dark Orb I use for PvE. You get a ton of spell casts per orb. If I tune all 3 of those, that gives me 72 Dark Orb spell casts. So when I'm trying to clear to a boss, I usually use Dark Orb. Dark Fog is a really, really powerful poison that's fast acting. You can force people to run out of like a turtle location. And if they don't move out of it and they get poisoned, they have to cure it. That gives you an opening to attack them. If they don't cure it, they usually panic and they start trying to attack you as fast as possible because they're going to die. Which, if you don't panic yourself and you use that to your advantage, you wait for an opening when their endurance is low after swinging at you constantly, and then you kill them then, because they won't be able to block it when you're spamming your spells. So that's up to you. That's pretty much all I use, so anything else is preference. I've tried other spells and I just don't feel like they're that good, so don't use Climax. You might be tempted because it does a ridiculous amount of damage, but it's going to consume all of your souls. So if I used it right now, it would use all 279,000 souls I have. And it would do the same amount of damage if it was consuming the minimum amount of souls you need to cast it, which I don't remember. I think it might be like 5,000. So don't do it. It might be fun or entertaining, but you're going to screw yourself over. And if you cast that and then you're relying on Great Resonant Soul and you have no more souls left, like I said earlier, it's going to do no damage. So that concludes this little video about my Hexer build. If I left anything out, feel free to ask in a comment or whatnot. I'll hopefully be putting up some PvP videos in the near future. My old ones, or the ones I have currently, were really laggy, so I fixed that issue, but I don't want to upload them because it's not really that fun or skillful. So I'm gonna have to wait on that. So something to look forward to, I guess, in the future. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you're gonna use this build, I hope you kill a lot of people with it or murder any boss that was giving you trouble before, because you will, no question about it. As long as you get those casts off, that boss is gonna die or that player is gonna die. So have fun, happy hunting, and good luck. Later.